This is a Rangercast Emergency Pod, Episode 3, Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. Alright, from the Pasadena Convention Center, Pasadena, California, from the floor of Power Morphicon, I'm Tyler, Beto Zero Volto, and I'm joined by...
This is Bryce Jones, aka Primo Piccolo on Ranger Board, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Lamar Richardson. I voice act for Power Rangers the audio drama.
And if you heard it from the opening, this is an emergency pod, and we would not do an emergency pod unless we're actually, big news. I didn't bring my microphone. I'm here a couple hours after the reveal panel for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, which is the title. And we don't really know much more than that, except for one big thing. It is not just like a lazy name or anything. It is actually a follow-up to Power Rangers Dino Fury. Same cast.
Cosmic's still a little lazy. But
yeah, right. But same Rangers, same showrunner. Even though we know who a next showrunner is, we don't know. Well, for now, it'll be the same New Zealand crew, Simon Bennett, everybody else staying on. It was probably one of the weirdest reveals in PMC history because Hasbro took a bit of the air out of it. They posted a teaser at 11 p.m. last night. That's Saturday night as we record this. And it had Simon Bennett deliver a message saying, here's the title, everybody's back, here's the sets they're building them. And we don't know what the suits look like. We don't know what Sentai, if any, is involved.
it's cute.
Yeah. Y'all saw the teaser. What did you think about the news?
I was just saying that I don't think it makes we've been talking about it for so long that at this point it feels old, I guess.
What do you mean?
Well, people have been literally arguing about this for months that, they're never going to adapt another Sentai again, and now we're here, so now it feels like, I guess they are.
Are they, though?
Well, I mean, it would be a pretty quick turnaround if they were actually trying to do something wholly original, but I'm willing to be surprised.
I mean, they haven't seen the suits. It said during the panel, they haven't seen the suits. And I don't think they were lying. But Lamar, what do you think about the teaser, the reveal?
Honestly, I'm just excited that we're getting a continuation of the cast like we used to back in the Zordon era. That was honestly something that when I was younger and watching the show, I really had trouble with until Wild Force. Was that, you get attached to these characters and you get attached to their stories and their personalities, and then you have to start all over again from scratch. I'm glad that they're recommitting to that. As far as the suits, I don't know if it's going to be tied in with Sentai or not. I think it would be easier for them to, on both a marketing and, production level, to stick with Sentai, but if they do something completely original, that would be fantastic, because then that opens the door for them to kind of do whatever they want and not be stuck in, this is what the Sentai footage shows us, which you could tell was an issue for a lot of the early dramatic tension.
Yeah, but I think people are trying to kind of game it out. I was on a space led by Ranger Command last night. A Twitter space, and you're looking for a Sentai show that's friendly to a space theme that has 6 Rangers from the jump. Lupat had 6 Rangers from the jump, but would not work for this.
I don't think anybody wants to see Lupin Pat.
6 human Rangers, excuse me. So that knocks out Q Ranger too. So it's not Q-Oger, it's not Cure Major. So what could it be? If they're assuming this is going to be a regular length show.
I was saying I don't know if it's Q Ranger for a fact, but I think they could edit a lot out of it if it had to come to them.
Yeah, but then you're looking at maybe, many episodes worth of footage that you got to scrap.
Well, yeah, but like I said, I haven't seen it, but wasn't there like something where they said that they would constantly leave certain Rangers out of fights so that you still only had like 5 or 6 at top?
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of behind on my Sentai, personally.
Oh, so it's not just me.
Yeah, I know it's not just me. But I think there's an interview that Screen Rant did that they released this morning with Kai Moya and Jordan Fight, and I'm not sure if it's conjecture on their part or if they said something they shouldn't have, but their sense seemed to be that this is going to be all original stuff. But it seemed like they were responding to questions during a panel questions you would expect them to have the answer to at a normal reveal, like questions about the suits, questions about whether they keep the same colors. They were responding to basically with the shrug emoji. And again, this was the weirdest cast reveal I've ever seen, because the cat was already out of the bag. But I think I'm excited that this cast gets another go, and I'm excited that that the writers and the crew get a victory lap.
Oh yeah, Simon absolutely deserves it because he's had to put up with a lot of crap.
Oh yeah. Something else that people bring up these last few days, or rather these last 12 some hours, is that much like how Chip Lynn, who I'm going to get back to in a moment, said he didn't think that there was any way to mesh Beast Morphers and RPM together. And then next thing you know, Beast Morphers and RPM are inextricably linked. Simon Bennett said in an official Hasbro thing, like, "Hey, what season? What do you want to see in a season? What kind of thing do you want?" And he's like, "I don't know, space." Which, I mean, he gets to do space, presumably. And if this is in an anniversary season, there are a whole lot of planets out there to explore in the Power Rangers universe. Like, imagine going to KO-35.
We did that in SPD.
Yeah, we're serious.
But imagine really actually doing it right, especially now that COVID restrictions are lifted, and being able to get.
Well, is there a way to
some
do
of these.
KO-35 right? I mean, for all we saw, it was what, a factory in a field.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can imply KO-35 all kinds of ways. You don't have to, have a, the background of the LA, of that pyramid at UCLA, whatever college campus
Pyramid,
that was.
I forgot. Yeah, I've actually been there in real life.
Yeah. But there are actors who look more or less the same, who aren't union, who you could bring down to be a part of this.
Oh no, not the
It
anniversary.
would
Can
be
we just
game.
skip the anniversaries, please?
Well, time waits for nobody.
Like Super Mega Force ruined it. Can we just stop from now on?
Well, on the other hand, I mean, what if you from
Oh.
Super Mega Force did wrong? And it seems like this team is intent on doing those things right, like bringing back Mick, bringing back Scrozzle, bringing back Zed. And these characters are all on the table.
Yeah, and being able to see some of the actors. I mean, a lot of them have really kept their youth. So I mean, they still look great, and so you could definitely have them continue.
I will advocate for
and
old Power Rangers. A gray hair should not stop you.
Well, also,
I
think kind of going back to our game Guess Who with Sentais, we know that it's not going to be Zenkaiger, because Zenkaiger, what they do is so specific to the legacy of Sentai and doesn't necessarily translate to Power Rangers. And most of the Rangers are robots. And that also is not going to work, obviously, with what we know about Cosmic Fury.
Well, I think Megaforce showed us that they really don't care if they cross over into Sentai a lot.
That was Jonathan Zahor. This is not his show. And I think maybe it's possible that what they end up doing is like, distilling the idea of Zenkaiger, but what that means for Power Rangers. Like, what would it mean to celebrate Power Rangers the way Zenkaiger celebrates Sentai? Even if they're using their own suits, that sort of thing. I think.
Well, let me start by saying that if they were to use Zenkaiger, then I would laugh my head off because so many people do not want that to happen.
Right, but no, I mean using it as a jumping off point. The way that, like, there have been episodes that haven't used so much footage but been inspired like directly by an idea from Japan. Like how, for example, the Ninja Storm Dino team up didn't buy that movie, but did use some concepts in the fight that were like directly from that movie. You know what I mean? So I think the other thing is Hasbro is a toy company, and they design toys, and they'd like to sell their own toys and not Bandai's. So I think that maybe letting their design team go to town is probably what the doctor ordered, for at least in the short term, for Power Rangers.
I just want more cheetah blasters. Those little
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I think if I could just engage in blind conjecture, I think it was no accident that they brought Zed back, and no accident that he's coming back again, as shown in the teasers. And I wouldn't be surprised if he figures into Cosmic Fury.
No, I think Zed coming back was great. I trust Simon with the legacy aspects. But
Yeah.
just we don't need all the actors back. We really do.
Yeah, but it would be nice. I mean, you could do 20 different team up as, or homages just with Kelson himself.
And being able to see some of the originals too, I think, from back in the day. Wonder where they are now. Now I recognize, JDF has said he stepped away from the franchise, and a few other people, maybe aren't interested in being involved, but at the very least, being able to pick up on a few of the characters would be
let's
wonderful.
not go with the Jason stepped away. He was fired.
Well, I think we're never going to have an MMPR reunion for a bunch of different reasons. But I think, to the extent certain individuals are willing and able to be a part of it on whatever conditions, I think that now's the time. And we know very little right now about what Cosmic Fury will look like, besides hints of what they're trying to do, and of course this casting announcement today. But I think we only really learned a couple things after the teaser. We learned that they're no longer going to be in Studio West, which has been the show's home, going back to Ninja Storm.
That leases them.
Yeah, it did come up. Hunter Dino went on to say it's the same colors, quote, as we know of. In terms of the uses of Sentai footage, Tessa says, we wish we knew more. And Hunter also said she found out the name Cosmic Fury from those same leaks. So, again, hopefully we learn more in the next few weeks. And we know it's going to be in Netflix in 2023. And I can't wait to get a look at whatever suits they end up using, if they're familiar to us or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a catch-22 when it comes to it. It's a lot easier to market and to already kind of sell the stuff if they're basing it off of a Sentai. But as you were saying, on the other hand, doing their own stuff means that they don't have to rely on anybody else's designs, and they can, get everything the rights
That's
for
right.
it.
That's right. And but then you have the question of Zord fights, and going back to Chip at a panel on Saturday about adapting Sentai into Power Rangers. He said, and I don't know what he knows, and I don't know if he knew anything that about what's coming down the pipe. But the thing about Zord fights is they're prohibitively expensive to make. You got to build those sets. Toei has those sets. They've been doing this for 50 years. They've been very good at it. So why go through the trouble of shooting your own when you have this footage you already paid for? So maybe it could be original suits, but with, I don't know, Q Ranger Zords or something like that.
Sure, Q Ranger Zords
We don't know.
look great. I think we should use them.
Well, Q Ranger suits look great, but I'm not sure if we're going to use them.
I stand by my statement.
I mean,
The Zyuohger
there's
suits
a
look
number
great.
of different.
You didn't just say Zyuohger.
I did say Zyuohger, and I stand by it.
Okay, now we're fighting.
But yeah, other than that, Power Morphicon's been a great time. Ups and downs as every Power Morphicon has. It's great to see a lot of old and new friends. But we will talk about Power Morphicon more on the next episode of Rangercast. Y'all have places to be. I have places to be. I gotta get my stuff out of the hotel in a couple hours. But if you're listening to this from LA, safe travels. We will see you next time on Rangercast. Later, everybody. For more, visit Rangercast.net or find us in your favorite podcast app. Reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, or through our website's voicemail feature. Rangercast is distributed under Creative Commons license. Share it, don't sell it. Our opening theme is by Daniel Park. The ending theme is by Tyler Waldman. This podcast contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer.